Hi everyone! Here's my giant recipe card. Hello, hello, welcome people. This is my recipe card at the top of the screen here. Tonight I will be making a spinach and artichoke rice, got mustard crusted salmon, and little white chocolate Milky Way type ordeal. So let's get to it, people. I have this heating up while I'm waiting on my guest to arrive.
Well, hey,
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. You're coming in just loud and clear.
Perfect. How are
So
you?
I had a little problem with my internet, so I only got one recipe up, the white
Okay.
chocolate Milky Ways.
All right. I'm sure we'll be able to have that done by the end.
Oh yes. Okay, so what are we doing?
So I'm just going to be working on toasting my rice first, and I'm going to let the rice cook before I move on to the other stuff. I just turned this on, so we're going to need to let it heat up. I like to toast my rice sometimes because it brings about that nuttiness, sort of just a rich nutty flavor you wouldn't get otherwise.
Right.
So I have this going, but while I'm waiting for that, I will go ahead and get started with my mustard sauce for my mustard crusted salmon. And so this is kind of an intro of mine for how to make mustard because I mean, there's so many ways I can make mustard. I could do a mustard on live and just never run out of techniques and stuff to show y'all, but I could like spend way too much time on that. Is this a good view?
Yes, this is a good view.
Perfect.
It's looking good. You guys are watching Food Talk TV. This is Taylor Rose, and the name of her show is Cutting the Mustard.
So I'm starting with some mustard powder, and for me, I feel like the type of mustard powder is important here. Here we go. This is 2 tablespoons or an eighth of a cup. Now this is Korean mustard powder. This any mustard powder that comes from Asia is cultivated for different uses than the mustard that we have in Europe and North America. So Asian mustard powder is already going to be way hotter than any of the American or Canadian or European stuff.
And why is that?
Um, the way that mustard is grown in Asian countries is for the mustard greens and the mustard oil. And
Okay.
so, yep, so because they have cultivated the seed to be used for that specific use, that mustard heat comes in the form of oil. So, because
Brian
it's
Willis,
from
thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. We
you.
appreciate it.
So, I'm doing equal parts about powder. Here we go. And now this is going to get us some of that mustardy heat with the cold water. Once the cold water interacts with mustard powder, it gets the enzyme of the mustard. There's an enzyme in the mustard, and then it attacks the glucosinolate when it's wet,
Okay.
and then it creates the flavor of mustard, the essential oil of mustard, which is going to be a very horseradishy type flavor. So if you have a mustard and it tastes like horseradish, but there's no horseradish in there, that's what's going on with this. So we're essentially like recreating that. I may need a little bit more water than here. And you never know with mustard. You may need more, you may need less. Each particle of mustard can absorb up to 7 times its weight in water. So there will be
Wow.
some things on the container that will say equal, like on a thing of Coleman's, it will tell you equal parts cold water and powder. On this container, it's 2 parts mustard powder, 3 parts water. I never read the instructions. I just go until it gives me the consistency I'm looking for. So first thing we do, here we go. Just cold water, mustard powder, stirred really well. And I'm going to leave this to the side. 10 to 15 minutes is how long it takes for the reaction to happen.
Okay.
Perfect.
Tara says hello. You guys, if you're just scrolling through, please give Food Talk TV a follow. This is Taylor Rose on the screen. She is the mustard queen. She is here every Thursday night. Every Thursday night. She's getting ready. She's got some oil in the pot and she is getting ready to toast some rice. You know, on our show on Saturday with the Yorkshire Indian.
Mm-hmm.
He toasted his rice too, but he used mustard oil.
And I did think about using mustard oil for this recipe because I do love cooking with mustard oil. However, in the United States, mustard oil is not allowed to be sold as a food product. So if you
What?
see it, yeah, it's not allowed to be sold as a food product in the United States. You can still get it at grocery stores. But if you pay attention to the labeling, it says for beauty purposes only.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Yeah, and mustard oil is one of those like old timey kind of cures for everything in Indian countries. Um, like kind of how some people think apple cider vinegar is the cure for everything,
right,
That's
right.
how it can be in Indian culture is with mustard oil. Other countries, like other European countries, will have restrictions on how much mustard oil you should consume. But United States just says no, it's not for consumption, and that's based off of studies from the 50s and 70s. I think it's one of those things that can be handled in moderation.
Okay. Uh, Connie Gilray says hello from Kentucky. Hi, Karen Schneider. Our Food Talk TV family is in the house.
Oh, you know what? I was going to get a shallot. I didn't get a shallot for this.
You guys, if you haven't seen, we have totally redesigned our website, foodtalktv.com. We've made it a lot easier to use. And frankly, it's beautiful. You guys have got to go see it. You have to go see it. It's easier to find our recipes. And one of the recipes, the white chocolate Milky Ways, you can see in the card up on the screen, is already up. We're just waiting for some pictures from tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got a shallot there.
Yep, I'm just going to let my rice get all nice and toasty until it's like a little brown, not too much, and then I'll add the shallot in there. I don't think I have garlic, but my recipe does call for garlic, so you would also be slicing up garlic cloves here too. But it's okay. I'll just put in some garlic powder. We'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Fine. On my live the other day, I made a potato salad, which calls for celery and it calls for peppers. And I did not use those during the live, but I did put up the recipe properly.
Right on. Yeah, there will be times sometimes like when I cook in a live and I'll go through the recipe and it's like, oh, I completely did not do that. But I don't like cooking recipes that aren't forgiving.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
want y'all to just substitute what I'm making and do your own thing. Because of course, like what I eat isn't going to 100%, match with what you want to eat or your flavors. So,
So,
ooh,
oh, just a bunch of new people in. Hey there, this is Food
hi.
Talk TV. Taylor Rose is on the screen. She is cooking for you. And right now she's working on toasting some rice. And I'm guessing that the shallots are going to go in there too.
Yeah. And then of course, like things are just taking a lot longer to cook because we are on live. Like I would already have my shallots in here had I not had a camera filming me.
Right, 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 right. I like the your Dutch oven is also a mustard color too.
It is. My sister got this for me for Christmas, and I get compliments on it all the time. Like, I like to tell my family that they didn't get me anything yellow, and only one person did. So only one person won Christmas for me. Okay,
Only one
that's
person.
actually kind of a lie because my brother did get me a tattoo gift card that I haven't used yet, so I can get myself a mustard tattoo.
Wait, wait, wait. A tattoo gift card. That sounds like it's a toy.
Huh? Oh, like a gift card, so I can go get myself tattooed.
Oh, a real tattoo. A real
Yeah, a real
tattoo.
tattoo. No, no, no.
Okay.
Except my arm doesn't have any mustard on there, and that's a shame. Maybe if I have the lid on there for a little bit. Now I got some shallots to the side for me to combine with that. Oh, we should be pretty good. Here, I'm going to do a little tasting of my mustard. Remember, that's just the mustard powder and cold water. Now, if you don't want hot mustard for this, don't do it this way. Absolutely. You can use your own prepared mustard. I'm just preparing my own mustard here for y'all. So this is what it kind of looks like. You can kind of see the little bubbles starting to show up in there. And that means that the science is sciencing.
Wait, wait, wait. Oh, hi, Janie Joe. Really? That's bubbling up.
Like there's little like air bubbles here. You can only see like little bits. I don't know like
Wow.
how much of that you can see, but not a whole ton. But you'll notice that because this is a very weird, specific form of fermentation. It's
Okay.
strange. It's very strange.
Wow. The only thing I've ever seen go that quickly in fermentation is yeast.
Oh yeah, yeah. But this one is within 10 to 15 minutes, it will start and it peaks at around like 30, 40 minutes, but we'll get some great flavor here. Okay, I'm getting impatient. I'm just going to continue onward with the rice because we got things to cook today. I
Yes,
don't
we
got
do.
time to worry about toasting rice all day.
You guys, the menu is on the screen. It's a little black card. Uh, she's working on the spinach and artichoke rice, and your camera is slowly sinking, slowly sinking.
Slowly sinking. There we go. Oh yeah, this is
There
also
we
would be
go.
the part where I add my garlic cloves, but I don't have garlic today. So we'll use imaginations. I'll add some garlic salt in here soon.
Sure. Hey, you guys,
Mhm.
tap the screen. Let's get her up to 1,000 real quick. There's a bunch of you in here,
Hi, friends.
and we are happy to have you. This is Food Talk TV.
I
Okay,
could have
so
let that go a little more, of course, but it was 1 cup of the rice that I started toasting in here with like a tablespoon or two of oil. Added the shallot, let that saute. I'm kind of okay with the crunchy shallot, though. I don't know if y'all are, so you can let that saute a bit more. And so I'm going to let this come to a boil. I'm going to switch the eyes on it so I can start doing stuff over here. So I'm going to let it come up to a boil. And then once it does, I'm going to lower it to simmering and just leave the lid on it. So that way we can add other stuff to it momentarily.
all
So
right.
I'll be putting the rice over here. We'll come back to that. Don't you worry. And let's get started on dessert while I'm waiting on my other stuff to do. So
We have
dessert,
a double boiler right here.
yeah, double boiler action. And the reason why we do this, I have some water in here that it's going to take a million years for it to boil because we're on live. And
Uh,
then, and I did
let's mo-
get my kettle this time.
let's
I
move
was
let's
telling
move
you
the
that we
camera
need to get a
up.
kettle.
Yes, we need to move the camera up because
Okay,
it's sinking again.
here we go. I
Yes.
need a camera operator for this. My
Yes, you
sister
do.
was here earlier, but she had to go. So we'll let this come up. And for this, I'm going to essentially be making it's white chocolate, but it's essentially going to be that same texture as a Milky Way. So, and how I'm going to achieve that is going to be super easy because I have the full portion of the recipe on the website, but I'm going to be doing a half portion of this. So all it is, I'm going to melt some white chocolate chips, which kind of melted in the car already.
Okay. Hey, you guys, this recipe is already up on foodtalktv.com. There's no picture there yet because she hasn't finished it. As soon as she finishes, there'll be a picture on the recipe as well. So just go to foodtalktv.com and look for white chocolate Milky Ways.
Yes. And so this isn't warmed enough yet for it to start melting, but it's going to melt. And you can also do this in the microwave too at first for 30 seconds and then just continue on 15-second intervals and stirring. I think at that point that might even be quicker than this. But my
Thank you.
microwave's all the way over there.
Thank
So
you,
then
Connie, for
after,
becoming a team member.
hi, let's check up on the rice. It's starting to come up to a simmer. Oh, right on. Ah, there we go.
No, Carrie, she is just got the rice on. We've only been on for a few minutes at this point.
Ooh, I just tried my mustard and that's hot enough for it to work. It's like I just keep switching activities while I'm waiting on other stuff.
Absolutely. Hello, Penny Smith, and Vicky Brown is in the house,
Hi, Vicky.
and Carrie is waiting on that rice. So what she's messing with right there is some mustard that started off as a powder. She added probably 2 to 3 times as much water, and she's waiting for it to develop. She
Yes,
says it's already ready, warming up.
yes,
It's very hot.
Pretty hot already. So when you're making mustard and you're getting this really hot horseradishy type flavor from mustard powder, because remember this is Asian mustard powder.
Right.
So when we're trying to achieve that really hot flavor, you know, it's strong and it's powerful, but that flavor doesn't like to stick around. It's very volatile. It will disappear with time, exposure to air, and heat. And so what we're doing is that's why you add a vinegar or an acid to mustard, so that way it locks in that flavor, right?
Uh, so
Because we don't.
we're sciencing this.
Oh yeah, no, that's basically a lot of my content is just like here's an information dump about mustard. That's basically my life. Um,
Vicky Brown says, "Hey Taylor."
Hi. Oh, there we go. I should have just poured and seen what I need, but it's okay. I can add more mustard powder. So rather than vinegar for this one, I'm just adding lemon juice.
Okay.
So we're going to have a nice little lemony kind of mustard. And then I'll start adding some of my other stuff to it.
And Jay has a question. He wants to know whether oil will lock in the flavor also.
Oh, actually, oil will not. Oil is fat, or the L-isothiocyanate, which is the flavor of, it's the chemical name for the flavor of mustard. It's fat soluble. So if you were to add oil in it at this point, the oil would essentially just suck it up and you wouldn't taste it. Same with like if I were to use mayo or anything like that in here, which I have it in my recipe to add mayo to this, but I think it's one of those only if you think you need it, because it really, really just takes out a lot of that like harshness. Which when I teach people how to make their own mustard and I tell them that it's very harsh, like horseradish, I don't think people believe me until they experience it. It's like more harsh than horseradish.
Lucy Maximus says thank you and hello.
Hello. I'm adding just a little bit of garlic salt just for a little bit of flavor. I have. I'm going to do a little splash of apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Where did my
So
time
guys,
go?
you're watching Food Talk TV. If you've never been here before, please give us a follow. We go live every single day. Taylor Rose is your host today, and she is the mustard queen. She comes on Food Talk on this show this same time every Thursday. And thank you, Becky, for the gifts.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I love it. Makes me feel good. Like I'm doing something right.
And what are you putting in there right now?
Oh, I have a few sprigs of thyme here. Kind of going for like a lemon timey kind of mustard deal.
She's got time on her hands.
You've got time. Oh man, I had this variety of thyme in my garden one year, and it was like a lemon flavor thyme. They have so many different flavors of like thyme and sage, it's ridiculous. But I had lemon thyme in my yard, and I would always be singing, "Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling, lemon thyme." And my husband just does
Lemon
not think
time.
that's funny. I think it's hilarious, but you know.
Amy is in the house. Hi, Amy. My TikTok crush. Frank Nitty.
This is a really harsh mustard here, right? Very, very harsh. As we bake it, even though we did lock in some of that flavor with the lemon, as we bake it, it's going to cook out, but it's still really harsh. You can add mayo at this point to it, but I don't think I'm going to do that for this.
Okay.
But I will add some breadcrumbs. These are just Italian breadcrumbs. Panko would be really good as well.
All right.
And then for my cheese, you could grated Parmesan, or I'm doing cotija, which is like a Mexican version of Parmesan. But actually, when it's a young cheese, it's more like feta. But as it ages and matures, it becomes more like Parm.
Yes. You guys, thank you for coming in. God, we have so many new people in today. If you're just scrolling through, this is Food Talk TV. Please give us a follow. The recipe card is right on the screen. Shows what she's making. She's got some rice in a yellow pot that's developing back there. The big pot right there is a double boiler, but I don't know whether the double boiler is working. She may have to resort to the microwave.
Oh, it's working slowly but surely.
Okay.
Oh, these aren't melting wafers that I have in here. They are they're white chocolate chips, so a lot of times they will add stabilizers so that way the chips will hold their shape. So when you purchase chips that are and you try and melt them, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult, but it's okay. And these salmons were frozen, so they're not like,
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love keeping
Jeanette.
frozen foods on hand. I love it.
Welcome in, Jeanette. And Tori says that the spinach and artichoke rice sounds amazing.
Oh yes. Well, I just love spinach and artichoke dip, and it's just a shame it's not a meal. It really is a shame because I would be that person that would just order spinach and artichoke dip at a restaurant and like that be my meal. Okay, just some salt.
Chef says wonderful work. And Fat says hello.
Hello. Salt and pepper.
Thank you for tapping the screen, guys. You just threw us up another 1,000 likes just like that.
Oh
I think
yes,
I think
yes.
I think Amy and Vicky are just working their little fingers off.
Well, I sure do appreciate it. And hey, y'all got to get your finger exercise somewhere, right?
That's right.
May as well be on my video.
Okay, so we're putting the mustard crust with basically it was mustard, it was breadcrumbs and cheese.
Right, but it was a
And I
mustard
know
that I
you
had made from scratch. That was like a very lemony mustard. I did not. Well, I did put a splash of apple cider vinegar in here, but it didn't really need it. But here we go. And then we have got
Chef
to talk
says
about this situation over here
looking
too.
great. That he also does the same thing when he does salmon.
Oh, I love mustard crusted salmon. Love it. And of course, me being someone that has way too much mustard on hand, something I always end up going to. And
Okay.
the cotija isn't necessary here. I just thought it needed a little something to zhuzh up the harshness of the mustard. But there we go. And I'm
Okay.
putting that in the oven.
For how long?
20 minutes or so if someone wants to start a timer. You don't
Alexa,
have to,
start a
though.
timer for
We'll
20
figure it out.
minutes.
All right, on. Okay, so I have this. Oh, yeah. Melting. It's just a half bag of white chocolate chips. Now, typically for this, I would do the whole bag of chips, and then I have a whole 8-ounce container of Cool Whip. But I've
Okay.
already made some of these earlier today, so I'm only doing it. That is hot. So y'all be careful if you touch this. Okay. And now, I have done 3 different desserts on my show. And 3 different times I have used whipped topping as my contribution to a dessert. And you know why that is because whipped topping is $1.
Oh, okay.
Like that's why.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if you buy cream and sweetener and vanilla and all that, you could end up spending $10 to make your own whipped cream this day and age.
So we don't have a great view right now. There we go.
Okay,
Much
yeah.
better. Much better.
Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. I'm kind of switching up my angles over here. I'm in a different part of my kitchen than what I'm usually at.
Okay, so we've got white chocolate. That's melty chocolate
Mm-hmm.
with the cold whipped topping,
Yeah,
right?
we're trying to fold it in, and it will want to harden up. It's okay. It's okay. Now, you can absolutely do this recipe whipping your own cream, right? You
Right.
absolutely can, but Cool Whip's $1, or the store brand is at least.
That's right. That's right.
Now, and I also was looking at a recipe where they were making white chocolate ganache just with this, but they weren't allowing the Cool Whip to still be firmed up.
Gotcha.
So they just like melted white chocolate in the Cool Whip, and it was amazing. But yes, this is why I'm kind of obsessed with Cool Whip dessert recipes now. And it's okay if it doesn't.
Well, that's actually getting firm pretty quick, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it really is. But I'm actually going to be freezing this for a little bit. This doesn't take 2 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to move it into this container. That won't take long at all to freeze. Oh, yes. And then we're going to let that freeze. And we'll come. I got to wash this bowl real quick. If you want to tell everyone about our other socials, I'm just going to rinse this out real quick.
Okay. I was just actually putting someone away for a few minutes. I just put somebody in timeout.
Uh-oh.
So, so you guys, you're watching Food Talk TV, and this is Taylor Rose. She is the mustard queen, and she comes on every Thursday at 7 Central. She's cooking for you from Tennessee.
Howdy.
Tennessee. Are you near Memphis?
No, I am not. That's West Tennessee. So the way Tennessee is set up is we're in Middle East and West, and it's almost like 3 separate states in one state. That's
Oh,
why like our flag has like the 3 stars in it and stuff. Okay, I rinsed that out. I did what I could.
okay.
Here we go. Because I'm going to be, of course, I have some already set to the side that I've already made. So I'm going to freeze that for about 30 minutes to an hour. And then I'm going to cut it up in its own individual portions. You can cut it up like a candy bar, you know, because these are kind of little Milky Way, white chocolate Milky Ways. So you can do that in little bars. I put mine in like little balls.
So
So
you're
roll over.
so you're melting more chocolate. What is this second batch for?
Oh, the second batch. These are my little frozen bits that I already froze ahead of time. And they look
Ah,
really soft, but they're actually like the texture is like the inside of a Milky Way.
okay.
So that's where
So
we get, but we're doing white chocolate today because I wanted white chocolate today. And so it's basically a 2-ingredient little mini Milky Ways.
hey, Janice, I thank you for the comment about the card. I'm happy to read it to you. Right now, she's making the bottom item, which is the white chocolate Milky Ways. She did, uh, uh, she took white chocolate and melted it in a double boiler. That's what you're seeing her do right now. She's already done that, and she mixed it with Cool Whip, uh, whipped topping. The next item up there is salmon, is mustard crusted salmon. She's already made that, and it's in the micro, or it's in the oven. It's
It's
not
in
in the
the oven, yes.
microwave. It's in the oven, and in the yellow pot back there, she's got rice going for the spinach and artichoke rice.
I'm pretty excited about the spinach artichoke rice. Not gonna lie. Because I'm very much so, I could eat spinach artichoke dip as a meal, and it's kind of a shame it's not served as a meal, you know?
And you know, you've got a lot of love in here for the artichoke rice. A lot of people waiting on
Yes,
that.
a lot of people are excited.
Yes.
I'm excited for me too. Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. Wonderful. And then with the mustard crusted salmon, I had essentially prepared my own mustard for it. I took, I'm going to try and get a better angle while I'm over here, but I took, here we go. This is Korean mustard powder that I worked with. So it was Korean mustard powder, and about equal parts cold water. You may need more, you may need less. Not every mustard particle is going to be the same, so don't bother measuring it. It's kind of when it becomes a paste. And then we allow that to sit for 10 to 15 minutes. So that way the flavor can be generated and created. And then that's when we add the acid to lock that in.
Can
So,
you move the cart just to down to my head?
oh, your head.
Down to my head. Yes,
Oh,
there
there
we go.
we go. So you can just point directly up. All right.
Yes. Okay, that melted very quickly.
It did. I'm impressed with it. Like the first batch just did not want to be melted. I'm also thinking I should have done more chocolate chips because I am doing a half batch. But yeah, we'll melt a little more. I would rather have too much than not enough. And then plus, like
Yeah.
once it dries, I can still use it. It's not going to be bad chocolate. It's just going to be different shaped chocolate.
Yes. Yes, it's still going to be chocolate. As a matter of
Right.
fact, the first chocolate you pulled out of the bag, it decided to melt to itself anyway, right?
Right, right. It was already melted to itself, and it's like, it's okay because we're just changing the shape of it anyway. Okay, now for the
Wow,
fun part.
we are almost up to 10,000 likes, guys. Thank you for all the finger action that's going on.
I'm not going to say anything.
So the question is, how long does it usually take for you to cook this? Now, everything takes a little bit longer on live, so that's a legit question. How long does it usually take you to make these items?
Okay, so this is definitely something that takes me about 10 minutes to set up at first and stick in the freezer. And then to continue, this kind of takes me about that same time, 5-10 minutes. So this one's not a long one. The mustard crusted salmon is definitely like a weeknight dinner that I do. I don't typically prepare my mustard for those each and every time. I'll typically just use a prepared mustard for that. But that's a regular weekday item, like throw some things in a bowl, stir it, and then it takes about 20-25 minutes to bake.
Okay.
Ooh, I think
And
that's our rice being done, and we can continue working on the rice. But I'm basically just, stirring that around, and
also,
then we'll let things harden.
Janice is asking you to go over again what you put on the salmon.
Okay, the salmon. I did, little yellow sprinkles since I am the mustard queen doing that. So with the salmon, I also put brown sugar. I forgot about that. So it was mustard powder and cold water. Let that sit 10 to 15 minutes. Then I locked in the flavor with lemon juice. And then I added a splash of apple cider vinegar, about a tablespoon or two of brown sugar, added a few sprigs of thyme, some pepper, some salt. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget any of my ingredients. But yeah. Oh, and I also added, Italian breadcrumbs, and I added cotija cheese. Or you could use
Okay.
grated Parmesan as well, or you don't even really need the cheese in there. I just thought the lemon and cotija blend was a really good combination.
And you hit your 10,000 likes.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so let's see if we can get you up to 15,000. Janice says this looks awesome. And Jeanette says, oh, yeah, it needs cheese.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was kind of on the fence about the cheese since I'm putting in a lot of cheese on the next dish, which is the spinach artichoke cheese rice.
Right.
All right. I think this is going to be my last one because I think y'all understand that I'm, dipping these little truffles in the white chocolate. It's just melted white chocolate chips and Cool Whip that's been frozen. And the texture of them will come out like little Milky Ways. So we'll revisit this when I come back to that. Got to add some little sprinkles. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
You guys, thank you for coming in. This is Food Talk TV, and Taylor Rose is cooking her little heart out for you.
Okay.
She's making,
We're
she's
trying
getting
to.
ready to, actually, I think she's getting ready to start back on the spinach and artichoke rice, though.
Yes. Here we go. Back on my rice. Woo!
Okay.
Yep. Just the 2 cups of water. You can use stock as well. I didn't have stock, so this is what we're dealing with today. I gotta turn off that heat. Ah, there we go. That's perfect. And
Yeah,
I
it's
did
nice
bring
and
some rice
fluffy.
ready for this because I will be taking advantage of the rice's starch, but I did toast it first, so it would be nice and nutty before adding in the shallot and the water and letting that cook. And then now that we're just basically throwing stuff in here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, got.
Okay. There's your spinach.
Yep. I'm gonna let that come off the heat until that's ready.
Okay.
But I would say this rice is something that I would do in like 30 minutes. If I had a rotisserie chicken or something, this whole thing would just be a meal. Today it's just a side item, but that will be a meal.
Janice says, I would love to be at your dinner table tonight.
Oh man, my husband has no idea what I'm making tonight. I have a feeling he'll be a fan of this. And then I just have a can of artichoke hearts. We're not doing anything, we're not steaming our own artichokes over here. It's fine.
So we're not going to take a full artichoke and then break it all down.
Nah, not for something like this. No way, Jose.
Not for a weeknight meal, no.
Not for a weeknight meal, no. This is actually a bit more work than what I typically do with this. Sometimes I'll just like throw my artichokes and spinach in a food processor and then dump. Sometimes I just leave the whole pieces and figure it'll flake. But since we're on Food Talk TV, I can cut it up just a little bit for y'all. I think y'all like bite-sized pieces of artichoke. Here we go.
I could eat that right out of the can.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, I could eat it right out of the can. Okay.
I don't even think I've ever done my own artichokes before, just because every time I see someone doing it, it looks miserable.
Yes, it is miserable. It is
Right, like
miserable.
no one ever has a good time cooking their own artichokes, right? So
It
I just
is
figured it's not
miserable.
for me.
Janice was asking about the can. Is that just the hearts?
Oh yes, they are the hearts. Yes, good
Okay.
question.
Is that
So about a
mustard?
tablespoon of mustard. Of course, there's mustard in here. Have you met me? No, last week I did this is about a tablespoon of mustard. You're not supposed to like really taste the mustard. It just kind of adds a little bit of depth to it. But yeah, my last week's show, I didn't do anything with mustard. I was like, did I really just do an entire show with no mustard? I'm putting
I
in red
know.
pepper flake. Obviously, I like a lot, but optional, or however much you want is optional.
J. Rod says that artichokes are the lobsters of vegetables. That's a good analogy.
That is a really good analogy because
Yes, it
lobsters
is.
used to be a cheap food.
And Janice, don't feel bad. This is Food Talk TV is a community channel. We love answering questions. That's the reason why we always try to have somebody in the box to read the comments and answer the questions. It just makes you part of the family. You're not bothering us.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I thought you knew everything that I was doing before I do it, then why would I even be here explaining things to you? Why
That's
would I
right.
be showing you if you already knew everything? I do have the heat on low. On low. And of course,
Matthew
cream
made.
cheese. Because what kind
Okay.
of spinach dip doesn't have cream cheese? And this has been
So
softened too.
So your this rice dish is a play off of the spinach and artichoke dip. Okay.
Oh, yes.
This is going to go on my list.
Yes. Oh, wait until
And
we get to the topping.
oh my gosh. And you know, I'm a big thief. I will take recipes that I see you guys do and make them on my live too. So,
Hey, I take that as a compliment. Oh, yeah. Look how good this looks. Yes. And I haven't even added shredded cheese yet.
oh my
I
gosh.
haven't even done that yet. But
Oh
I
my
just
god.
have a little bit of. Oh, I thought I was going to add a little bit of it. Oh, yep. I have some cream. Some cream or half and half or.
Okay, just to loosen it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Oh,
gonna just
yeah.
that's gonna be perfect with that fish.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So we got to shred some cheese for this. Oh, that's way too close up of my dirty cutting board. Hello.
Is that pepper jack?
Yes, I have some pepper jack. Of course, there's mozzarella is typically my go-to, which I have some of that as well. But I love the heat, obviously. If y'all don't know that about me, I love the heat. So about 8 ounces of cheese or like a block. I don't like doing recipes where it's like a portion of a container, you know?
Just use the whole
Yeah, just use the whole thing.
just use the whole
Like, could
thing.
you imagine if I was like, yeah, use 3/4 of a can of the artichokes? No.
Well, I do like recipes that call for a can and a quarter of beer. I like that.
Right?
Yes.
Like, oh, yeah, I can take care of the other 3/4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on, cheese. Of course, like this grater is not doing a great job because we're on live, but like seriously, every time I've used it, I've been like, where has this grater been all my life?
You know what? I see people use that grater all the time, and nobody ever has an easy time with it.
Oh, really? No, I
Yeah,
do not on live. But one of the things too is like sometimes you can get cheese stuck in there and then it's difficult, but what you do is just go the opposite way and then it
okay.
loosens it up. And that's the only fix.
Janice, that is pepper jack cheese.
Yes. Yeah.
And J. Rod says that your rice dish is a good way to get veggies past picky eaters.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. And I have made this before. Ah, this is a lot of cheese.
Oh, there's your 20-minute timer. Alexa, stop.
Oh, thank you. Almost forgot about that because the salmon, which is fine.
We got your back.
Ooh, that's a
I see.
very fatty
I,
salmon.
I
Like
see
that was
smoke
a
coming up. Ooh,
fatty
there it
salmon.
is. Yes,
There
it
it
is.
is. Oh yeah. And you know, if it doesn't look brown on the top like this, I would do a little I'm gonna broil it for a second.
Okay, there we go.
Swap over the broiler, which is fine because I'm gonna need the broiler for this. I'm gonna need the
So
broiler for this, so that's perfect.
Jeanette is asking, can you substitute the rice for cauliflower?
Ooh, yes, that would be really good. Ah, yes. Even more veggie sneak in there. Oh, yeah. So basically, all my stuff is mixed in here real well. Typically, I would add a splash of stock, like chicken or veggie stock to that. And I don't have that today. So I'm gonna add a little splash of water.
Okay.
Just a little splash. And then I gotta go microwave my butter.
J. Rod. J. Rod is like me. He says, idea stolen.
I take that as a compliment because, you know, sometimes you do just want to have a bowl of spinach artichoke dip for dinner, and I think that's completely okay. So I
This
have a
rest.
sleeve of Ritz
Oh,
crackers.
oh, there we go.
Yeah, because
This
you
one.
know, when you have a spinach artichoke dip, you're going to have some sort of those buttery crackers with it. And I didn't want to leave that out of the recipe, you know?
Speaking of recipes, this recipe will be up on Food Talk TV later in the evening. It would have normally been up. Taylor was really good at sending me the recipe prior, but I
I did
had an
it with
internet problem.
45 minutes to go. It's okay. You don't have to lie to them.
At least you got it to me prior.
Yeah, you know, that's better than what it used to be.
And Betsy says rather than crackers, she puts water chestnuts in hers for crunch.
Ooh. Okay.
And Wanda's got your back on the fish.
I'm just checking that out. Just a little harder. Gotta go grab my butter.
You guys, if you're just scrolling through, please give us a follow. And I think we've got almost 40 people who've joined our team.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi. Thank you. Oh, I love it. I take that as a compliment. I must be doing something so right here. This is cotija cheese. You can use grated parm as well, or no cheese if you want to leave out the cheese. But come on.
Janice, yes, you can download the recipes. Once you find the recipe, at the bottom of the recipe, there's a print or save as PDF button.
Oh, yeah. This is a half of a stick of melted butter, a sleeve of Ritz crackers, or whatever kind of buttery kind of crackers you like. I mean, you don't even have to do this part. This is just
Okay, Lou Forgotten is asking a question, but I need to ask him a question back. He
okay.
wants to know, he says, how long have you been cooking? So I need to know Lou, I need to know whether you're talking about tonight or forever. Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
I can hear that pan sizzling.
Yes, I love this pan. Ah, that's good. And my broiler is still on because I baked that for about 20 minutes and then I broiled it for a bit.
Okay. So Lou is asking, how long have you been cooking?
I never really got into food until my mid 20s. No one in my family ever really cooked. I just always assumed that I would never be able to do it. It just wasn't in my genes, you know, all that. And then I finally quit letting food make me anxious. So then I got really invested with it. So I feel like a lot of the stuff I learn is just like at a different pace, you know, like
Okay.
some things I'll get way too sciencey on ways I can't, but then I'll overlook like some basic things, you know, like it's strange, but I just turned 34. So that's about 10 years now, but I've never done anything professional with that. Professionally, I'm a bartender.
And you
There we
guys, she just turned 24 on the 25th of May.
No,
So
I
she,
turned 34.
oh,
Did I say
34,
24?
34.
No, I'm
No, no, you said 34. It says
okay.
34.
Yeah. 34 on the 24th. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. This is going to be yummy. I just love the little crispy. And the broiler's on.
And I believe Vicki Brown has got a birthday coming up too.
Oh, right on. I'm loving the summer birthdays. And my Dutch oven, the entire thing can go in the oven and broiler. But you can definitely just move that into a 9 by 13 too.
Okay.
Oh, man, some of this melted cheese all over.
Jeanette says that she would have agreed with the 24 and just moved on.
I just moved on with it. Well, I try to not be one of those people that, you know, gets upset when I turn another age because you know what? Aging is a privilege. So I try and be proud of my age.
Okay.
10 years ago.
Jay says that bartenders are cooks, just wetter. Okay, Jay.
Well, I was going to try to do a couple more of these truffles, but I don't think I think I might work on that later for like some more um, photo worthy truffles because mine are a little questionable, but that's okay. Like that one's a cute little one, but these are going to have the same texture as a Milky Way. I store these in my freezer, so they're warm now, so it's not going to have that same texture. But on the inside, it's going to be like nice and airy like a Milky Way. And you can
So
just eat these right out of the freezer. Like,
like nougat, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm, mm. It's so rich and delicious, and it's a very forgiving recipe. I try to do equal parts of the chocolate and the whipped topping, but as you can see, I didn't even measure it. You know,
James
I'm just
Linder is
like,
in the house. Hello, James. Thanks for coming in.
oh yes, oh yes. Oh no, I don't have my other.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah, boy, that browned up super, super quick.
Right? Isn't that beautiful? And so
Yes.
there we have it. There's my spinach artichoke rice. Got my mustard crusted salmon with some mustard that I made for y'all. That's a hot lemon mustard. And then I got these little truffles here that are super cute, but also super delicious, like little white chocolate Milky Ways.
And all of these recipes are going to be up on Food Talk TV probably within the hour, because I'm that fast.
Oh, look at that. I gotta.
Yes.
Normally, whenever things come out of the oven, I try and let that sit and like cool off for a bit, but this thing doesn't stand a chance. And you know, and it's very much so like a throw things together kind of recipe, so I gotta try this guy.
Did it work? Did it work?
So good, so good. And like, I'm even thinking right now that bacon would have been a really good addition to this. Um, I'll put rotisserie chicken in here, like put it in 9 by 13 and it's a meal. But it's spinach dip and it's a meal. But I guess I'm gonna eat some salmon too, but this is my favorite.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Hey,
Oh wow, I cut it early today. I thought I was gonna be going over today, but I did it.
I love that apron.
Oh yeah, and this is a nice little it's my Food Talk TV apron, which is weird because I'm typically in a yellow apron. And I
Yes.
know when I got this apron in the mail, I looked at it, I was like, okay, they must only offer one color because mine's not yellow. But that's the only explanation here. Oh yeah, this is my best one of these yet. This is a time to time weekday meal, but I haven't made it in a while, and I don't know why. This is amazing.
Wow.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check the website for these recipes. You need the spinach artichoke recipe, the salmon recipe. Weeknight meal, I could make a different type of mustard crusted salmon any day of the week. And these truffles, 2 ingredients, surprisingly easy and store in your freezer. But thank y'all so much for joining, and I will see y'all next time.
Bye, Taylor.
Bye. Happy mustarding.